Hey there, thank you so much for clicking on this video. You are about to watch the latest coverage, but before you do, portable.tv/download, that is our brand new app platform. You'll get a sneak peek, exclusive content, one-of-a-kind app experience, really, that you can't get anywhere else. And now, on to the video you came here to see. All right, after years of debate, the time has come. Brexit has arrived. Tonight, at the stroke of midnight, the UK finally divorces the European Union. As the EU Parliament ratifies the departure, there were tears and some smiles, mixed feelings from MEPs. Have a look.
And we wish our friends well. We might be leaving the Union, but we're still European, or we'll continue to be European. And it's just that we're not going to be in the European Union.
Oh, I think a lot of sadness, and a lot of people say they're going to miss us, which is very nice. We leave with mixed feelings, I have to say.
Yeah, indeed. Yeah, I think it was a very emotional session of the Parliament. I've never seen such an emotion in this Parliament. So everybody will miss, the British representatives. Not all British representatives, for example. I don't think that we will miss Mr. Farage, but all the others, yes.
So for more on all of this, let's bring in former UK MP George Galloway. So George, this day has finally come, the divorce you have been waiting your whole adult life to see. It's happening. Do you have mixed feelings about this departure like the MEPs we just saw?
I don't know whether to laugh or cry. As Oscar Wilde put it, you'd have to have a heart of stone not to laugh. What they're really crying about is the loss of their big salaries, the world's biggest expenses package, their gold-lined pension plan, and one of the easiest jobs on the planet in a rubber stamp parliament which has no power but lots of money to spend. The EU Parliament hates national flags because they hate nation states. The whole problem with the European Union is that it became a supranational project which had no legitimacy. The European nation states were never asked, the people were never consulted about the gradual abolition of borders and of the distinctions between European countries, distinctions which matter to people. I am not a Slovakian or a Bulgarian, and neither are they Scottish, Irish, British, like me. But the EU sought to elide those national characteristics, sought to bury national flags and national boundaries. And that's why the British people rejected it. And I don't believe that we are alone. Of course we are a European people, Manila. That will not change. Geography, culture cannot change. All we're doing is removing ourselves from a trading bloc that got too big for its own boots.
And George, no matter what, though, when a marriage ends, it wasn't all bad times. Can you give us a summary of some of the union, some of the highlights, some of the lowlights? Couldn't have all been bad.
I'm the wrong man to ask that, both because I've been in a bad marriage and also because I've opposed the European Union since I was 19 years old in 1973, when we were dragged into it without anyone casting a single vote in favour of it. I've written about it on RT.com. We'll be out at midnight. The reality is, for all the good that it did more harm than good for us. There may be countries that have benefited from it. I can think of one or two. But largely, it was a project to enshrine neoliberal orthodoxy over all of our lives and to eliminate the nation states in favour of what they openly now call a European empire. Well, I'm against empires, whether it's the British Empire, the American Empire, or the European Empire. I don't believe in empires. I believe in democracy and in people's right to control their own lives. And that's what I think we have the opportunity to do now. I never liked their flag. I never liked their anthem. I still hope to travel widely and freely in the European Union and its citizens to do so here. We have no hatred for European people. We're just against the European Union. And they've only themselves to blame for that. But they don't seem to have learned any lesson. They're doubling down now on all the things that turned us against it. And that will turn the Italians, the French, the Hungarians, the Poles, and maybe others against them. We'll not be the last to leave the European Union. That I can assure you.
George, that is very well put, quite diplomatically, might I add. And lastly, what about this latest referendum call from Scotland? The Scots are calling for it yet again. Would it be hypocritical of Boris Johnson not to table it then?
Yes, but depends when. He's entitled, I think, to say, well, look, this year we're in the process of implementing the latest referendum decision in Britain, that of 2016, to leave the EU. But if the separatist forces win a majority in May of 2021 and demand a second referendum, even though it's not the lifetime of a gnat, never mind the lifetime that they promised us in 2014, then I think it would be hypocritical of Boris Johnson to refuse a referendum. I like referenda. I always win them, Manila. I'm ready for the next one. I think breaking up a small island of English-speaking people with a common language, a common culture, common national economic interests would just be plain crazy. And it's crazier if Scotland proposes to leave the Democratic Union in Britain and rejoin the anti-democratic union in Brussels. I don't think that will fly. The Scottish people will not vote for it. Bring it on, I say.
All right, we'll have to leave it right there. George Galloway, I will say congratulations, because I know this was something you have rallied for decades. George Galloway, we will speak with you again soon from just the UK, not the European Union.